All right, good evening, good evening. I feel like it's so late. I'm not gonna whisper, but I am. I have one kiddo in here who is almost about to be asleep, so I'm gonna be kind of quiet, but not really. I wanted to come up here really quickly to just talk about some thoughts. And I know I look a little rough. I haven't been sleeping well because it's summer break. So without my makeup, I look real tired. But I have a little bit to do before I finally close my eyes tonight. But I wanted to talk to you guys because I was in my little sauna thing, because I'm gonna call it a sauna thing. Um, just kind of trying to take a little break from work, and a thought crossed my mind where I thought to myself, you did a video today. Like I did a video. I was in my private Facebook group. If you're watching from there, hello. But I was on my private group, and I was doing a video, and I was sharing that we are redoing our homeschool slash office space. And I was kind of showing like kids, and I showed like the kids were in the pool, and I was explaining why there's a pool at our house, and just kind of being transparent. And then when the video ended, you always get that little notification where it's like, okay, in the video, do you want to post it? Do you want to make it forever or for 30 days or whatever? And typically, I would say 99.99999% of the time, I will put forever. Like, don't erase it because I'm not somebody who erases a lot of things. But then every now and then, I will put like 30 days, especially if it's something that I don't think is going to come up again. But this time around, I deleted it. So I don't even think, let me look. I doubt you can even see it because I'm pretty sure I hit the delete button. There is no kind of sort of button. I hit the forever delete button. Yeah, I don't see it up here. Um, I forgot to send a message saying I was live, so I did that a second ago. But yeah, it's not here. But the reason why I deleted it, I didn't realize until hours later. And I said, you know what? I didn't want people to make assumptions based on the video. Because I find that in the coaching world, people like to make tons of assumptions based on the way we look, based on where we live, based on the activities they see us doing. And they use that information to decide whether we are, the thing, like if we have the tips, the secrets, the thing that's going to help them. And well, yes, you should vet people that you work with. I think that oftentimes those assumptions can be very misleading. The way I look now is because I work hard for my clients, and I'm also a mom who works hard as a mom, and I'm tired. Yes, I like to come as polished as possible most of the time, but I also think we have to leave space for people to be real, because if not, oftentimes we're just looking at who can disguise themselves the best, right? And that's not what you want. You want somebody who actually can help you. And so the reason why I came up here tonight is because I think part of the reason why I deleted that video is because people compare you, right? I think we all do to some extent, but I just want to talk about the fact that we as individuals need to stop comparing ourselves. Like we can't stop what other people do. Like if you ever gone to therapy, they will tell you like you can only do what you can do. You can't change what other people are doing. And so the best thing we can do for ourselves is to not compare ourselves to the next person because we don't know what they got going on. Okay. We don't know. So a lot of you might be feeling down in the dumps because you're seeing the next person say, oh, they had this amount of money revenue this month, or that they spoke at this place, or they were connected with these people, or, whatever the case may be. And you're like, man, I only got X, Y, and Z. Well, again, you don't know their situation. You don't know if they've been grinding silently or, hustling for 10 years. You don't know if they paid for that experience. You don't know even how much, if they are getting paid. You don't know if they have kids that they're having to deal with, husbands, wives. Like, I'm not saying it's a negative, but it's a fact. Like, when you have other priorities that you can't just forget about, you do split your time and you have to make tough decisions, and those do impact opportunities that you can take advantage of and things of that nature. And so I really want us to start being more cognizant. If you are struggling and feeling some type of way because you're seeing the people around you who maybe you're considering your peers or people you're striving to be like, if you're seeing them and then saying to yourself, like, why am I not there? Why can't I get there? What are they doing that I'm not doing? First, say, what have I accomplished already? Because that's what I was thinking when I was in that sauna, when I was starting to be like, ah, like, oh, I'm sorry. Look at that. Fire truck or ambulance is going by, which is so crazy. We moved to a nicer neighborhood, so we don't get to hear this that often. I used to live in the hood and we heard it all the time, but now not so much. But yeah, back to what I was saying, you need to start looking inward and saying, like, what progress have I made? Because if you are out here doing the work, you have to just start appreciating your own journey. So when I look at my situation, I'm like, no, I don't have a big office space, but one, I don't need a big office space. I started this business with a computer, and that was it, a computer and a phone. I had great clients back when I had no website, no social media, no nothing. Some of my first clients in the first 6 months I had in business, one made I think around 10 million last year in revenue, another one's a multi six-figure earner, like been doing business. Like, you don't need it all from in the first place to even do what you're doing and be great at it. So that was my first like check with myself, like, hold on, remember who you are. Let's stop this. And yeah, why would I go and spend money on a nice space so that I could show you on the camera that I'm in a nice space? Most of the people I work with are all over the country, if not the world. Y'all are not coming to my office. So there's just no need. So I'm like, okay, that's first check. Like, you don't need a big office. And yes, we're redoing it because I have children who are getting older, and this homeschooling was set up last year with certain things in mind. And because it's a multi-use space, yes, we're going to redo it. I'm not going to pay somebody to do it. My family's going to do it. Like, why not? Because I don't believe in wasting money just to say, oh, we have a designer come in. Like, I could pretend I could get Boo Boo down the street to come in here and pretend to be a designer and fake the funk. But again, why? Why? We just painting the walls and moving things around so that we can do business better. The kids have YouTube channels. I have my own video projects, and we want to make it more of a space where we can quickly do those projects. Why make it a big funk for you guys just to pretend so that you're like, ooh, she hired a designer. You know what I mean? Like, there's no point. I'm not saying everybody's out here pretending, but I just feel like sometimes when we try to keep up with the Joneses, we lose our authenticity. And it's like, no, we do all this ourselves. Just like my husband put up the pool, we did it ourselves. It is what it is. It is what it is. Um, and I don't think it makes me less of a coach. And like I said, sometimes when people see what they see, they're like, oh, she's in a t-shirt or she has a scarf on or there's kids running around, and they automatically just assume things. But again, you just have no clue. We homeschool two of our kiddos for a reason, and that has been to their benefit. They are also gifted in their own ways, and they have their own YouTube channels. They do their own things. My son has a business. Actually, all the kids had a business a couple years ago. Like, these kids are doing lots of cool things, so I'm not gonna pigeonhole them by sending them to a traditional school. So those are just the things. And just like even my husband, who really doesn't like to be on camera, I was like, oh, people might not even think I'm married. They might think I'm a baby mama. And no diss to anybody who is somebody's mother who doesn't have a husband. But again, why am I trying to prove that? No, I don't wear a wedding ring. I lose stuff a lot, and I told my husband not to invest in a whole bunch of rings. I do have a wedding ring; it's somewhere in my room. But yeah, just no. When you see me in public, I probably won't have on a wedding ring because I don't wear it. I lose stuff. You don't see me in earrings. If you see me in jewelry, it's usually like costume jewelry. I break things, I lose things, and I also just don't like them. That again doesn't make me less. Ooh, you're not going to see me in a lot of name brand. I think it's a waste of money. If you see me in name brand, it's probably because my husband's mom got it for me. but I just don't. I don't spend my money on those types of things. I'd rather buy a backdrop, a new tech piece of computer, a computer headset, something like that. Go on a trip. Again, it doesn't make me any less of a person. And I'm only giving these examples of me to help you understand too. Like, you're wasting money trying to look like somebody that you think people will work with. Just don't. It's not necessary. One and two, you could be using that money for other things that are way way more important. And again, just know your journey, because when I sit around, I'm like I said earlier, when I kind of was like to have that moment of down on myself, I thought about it. I was like, just about a decade ago, I was living in the projects. And I think I've said this in a video before, living in the projects on income-based housing. If people who don't know, I live in Virginia, and in a city called I used to live in a city called Newport News, but in the area, people call it bad news because crime rate is really high. And the closer, the lower number your street is, the worse the crime was. I was near 16th Street. Bad news. Yeah, craziness was out there. You can call the ambulance if you want. You're going to be waiting a while. And so for me to go from being a single mom, actually I was without a home for a little bit, then having that being an income-based housing to now being a homeowner with the paid off car, with these things, it's like this is my journey. And the next person that might say, oh, they've been in business the same amount of time as me, may have been able to, leverage their degree. They may not have a disability. I'm actually legally blind. They may have no kids, so they can travel and do all the things and spend all their money on them, right? They may have, a good paying job that they're at that can feed into their company. There's just so many things we don't know about somebody else, and that's nothing against them. It really is nothing against them and what they have going on. I think we just need to stop being so hard on ourselves, because we have our own circumstances. And even if you had somebody to gift you money and you leverage your degree and all the things, you still have your own set of challenges. And I think that that's important for us to remember, and to just be happy with our growth. And if we see room for improvement, to work on those, but not because of the next person. Just not because of the next person, because I've had coaches. I have coaches, and no shade, y'all. But I've had coaches have like photos and videos with them and like next to like private jets and stuff. And I remember seeing it and you're like, oh, I get why they did it. And they said they did it because people kind of expect to see that, not that they out here flying on private jets. And I have a friend who has their own private plane. I was like, ooh, I could get them to let me do that. And then I was like, I don't really want to be flying around all the time though. Like that's it's not even something I would want to have. Like flying is okay, but I'm not somebody who wants to fly around all the time. I'm not somebody who, I don't even think if I had the money, I would invest in it. Just being honest, just being honest. So again, why? Why did I want it? Because I thought somebody expected to see that of me. Just like I had a coach who had a really good program one time. And I remember, I think it was like Halloween or something. They took a picture in front of their house and like they showed their neighborhood. And I remember being like, I thought they would have more money than that. Like I know how much I paid them. I see many people in these groups, like woo. But again, we don't know. They could have had filed for bankruptcy. They could have made some poor business decisions. They might have family members they're taking care of. They may just be minimalist. We don't know these people's business. They're still the program was great. So instead of worrying about, and I'm not saying you guys were, again, this is an internal thing I just thought I would share, but instead of us as consumers worrying about the optics of it all, we need to start thinking about the things that really matter. Are they putting out good content? Does it look like something that's going to work for me? All those types of things. And for ourselves personally, we need to just be cognizant of not letting the idea of keeping up with the Joneses or what do they expect from us keep us in a place of being unproductive or being depressed or anxious or stressed out, worrying about that, because it's pointless, guys. I tell you all, you're experts. I know I'm expert. I know I'm great at what I do because my clients tell me so. So I'm not going to worry about like this video is going to stay. I'm streaming it to my public Facebook, my private group, and YouTube. It's going to stay. y'all enjoy it, come back to it, check it out. But I'm just gonna be honest with you, like, and I try to be as transparent as I can, that that moment really did happen. And it caught me for a second, but I'm glad I was able to will myself back and say, you know what, nah, like I'm cool being the raw, real person I am. Like this is straight out the shower, no makeup. I'm not doing nothing to my hair. I was like, I'm gonna put on a scarf, come talk to you guys. Because I almost thought I had all these epiphanies. And then I said, you know what, I'll wait till tomorrow once I get dressed and put my face together. And then I was like, no, that defeats the purpose. So yes, we're just gonna be real. And like I said, I'm very transparent. I actually do like to wear makeup. So yeah, you're gonna see me in that. And I do want to present myself a certain way, which I don't think is bad. But if you catch me on a day, you're gonna catch me on a day, and that's okay too. And I would love to see more of what you guys are doing and share with people the behind the scenes, not just the very polished versions of yourselves, because I do follow a lot of you guys. I try to friend request as many of you as I can, especially if you're in our private community. And I tell people all the time, like, send me your stuff, I will share it. I try to talk to you, I get to know you, your brand, what you have going on, and all the things. What is that? Oh, I'm looking at my post like I didn't post that. I forgot my assistant's been in here. But yeah, so I try to, like I said, follow you guys, connect, and support as best as I can. So like I hope you will all do the same for each other. I'm just sitting here. I was like, oh, y'all ain't been posting. Y'all better get to posting about y'all stuff. Because I look, Javon's been posting. I've been seeing your stuff. Lisa posted. Go ahead, Lisa. So yeah, a few of you have been posting. Like I said, I do try to I read pretty much every post, especially that goes in the private community. And I do try to share. And if I catch you on LinkedIn, I know I'm not streaming to LinkedIn right now, but on LinkedIn, I also try to like, share, do all the things as well. But again, if you want me to really see it, send me a DM. You're not bothering me. I really do like to know and find ways to support you as best I can. And shout outs to Cheryl. Cheryl Poe, she hosted an amazing webinar series this past weekend. Shouts out to Lakeisha Whitehurst on launching season 1 of her podcast with her partner, Natalie Smith. Life Cracks Me Up. Shout outs to Jackie Thomas on her competition she's in right now, to being some type of award for being like doing cooking stuff, and she puts out really great content. She also produces podcasts and stuff. That's where I know her from. So shouts out to all of you guys. I'm trying to think of who else has some stuff coming up. Um, oh, I know. Let me pull up the name so I can know exactly what it's called. Let me see if it'll let me. Because I like to do some shouts outs. I forget sometimes, but I try to stay on it. All right, so shout out to Dr. Daryl. She has a retreat coming up. I believe it's in Maryland, but it's called Cute, Curvy, and Confident. It's a weight loss and wellness retreat. Shout outs to her and that project. And actually, Cheryl actually has a conference going on at the end of this year. Shout out to Marie for her starting her community, Autism and Black. She also has a podcast as well. Shout out to all of them. Shout outs to Comfort. She is in Ghana right now. She opens up a nonprofit in Ghana supporting people who support children with disabilities. So yeah, shout out to her. I saw she posted a video. She's been doing some things because she's actually from the US, but she lives in the US, but she's doing some things there, and she's actually there right now. And I love the space that she created. It looks like she already had some people in the space doing some events and things like that. So yeah, shout out to all of you guys. I'm trying to think of anybody. I know I'm missing people. Just send me I promise I'll shout you out if you just send me your information. But I know that these people we've been talking about these things that they've been trying to do. And so I'm like, okay, I got it. I got it. Somebody else just did something. Misha, I think it was. What did Misha do? She sent me a message. She just launched something. Oh, what was it? Um, was it a podcast? I feel like it was. I might be wrong, but shout out to Misha. She's doing big things. Um, Nisha was always going to do big things. I think she just had to wait and realize how amazing she was. So shout out to her. I do believe she has like a podcast or a show. She did something she just launched. Um, and I just can't find it, but she did tag me in it. If I see it, I'll shout out again tomorrow because I know she's doing something. Oh, yes, it's live on Facebook Insights tonight. Harness the power of market research to unlock the true business potential and scale from 6 to 7 figures. So yeah, every Tuesday at 5 p.m. on Facebook, Misha is doing that. She is like the market research queen. She's worked with some amazing big businesses. So I'm happy that she is doing that. All right, so that's all the people. I had to do a couple of shout outs. But yeah, don't be afraid to be vulnerable, guys. And we're not gonna race this video. We're not gonna race it, but I am gonna get some sleep. I have to finish up a client real quick. Just some work I was working on, and then I'm going to bed. So shout outs to me for not staying up to the wee hours of the morning to do work. Um, and tomorrow you'll see the old keep and done. All right, but you guys remember, I rock, you rock, we all rock. We all got this. Don't worry about it. We're gonna win together. Have a good night.